Hi there guys, got a super short video here for you today on how to remove the regulator from the BRK Ghost, Daystate Alpha or Delta Wolf, as well as any of the BRK rifles that use this bottle housing at the front here with this regulator in the end. So we're going to be showing off this tool here, and this is a tool that I've made and supplied Bagnall and Kirkwood with. So if you want one of these, you'll have to go through Bagnall and Kirkwood for now. They will be available in the near future from my eBay store. So let's get right into it. The first thing we'll do is degas the rifle fully. On the BRK Ghost it's nice and easy. We can remove the bottle. And then we can depressurize the plenum by removing the regulator gauge. On the Alpha and Delta Wolf you will have to dry fire the rifle until the digital gauge on the side there reads 0 and you're no longer getting any air coming out the muzzle. On the BRK rifles that use the front bottle housing, you will either have to crack the regulator gauge loose or use something like a degasser in the fill port there to remove the air. The bottle on these rifles is not valved, so you cannot remove it whilst the rifle has pressure inside it. With that said though, the next thing we're going to do is tighten the gauge back up just so it doesn't get forgotten when we repressurize the rifle. And then we can add the gauge cover back. Up next we can remove the barrel, and on the Ghost it's very simple. All we need to do is loosen this grub screw at the back and then pull the barrel out from the front. With that said, we can now remove the regulator from the front of the rifle. So if we take a look at the tool here, we can see two pins. These two pins line up with these two holes. So we get the tool put into position like so. Then we can crack it loose using a 16mm spanner and then spin it loose. As you undo the regulator using the tool, just make sure you're keeping a nice amount of pressure forcing the tool against the body of the rifle so it doesn't slip as you undo it. However, with the regulator screwed all the way out, we can now just grip it and pull it out from the front of the rifle like so. So there we have the regulator removed from the front of the rifle. The way that the regulator comes out is exactly the same on the Alpha and Delta Wolf. However, on the BRK rifles with a bottle housing, you don't need to remove the barrel to get at the regulator. You simply need to depressurize the rifle entirely, and then we can use the tool simply to unscrew the regulator. Nice and easily like so. You may find it advantageous to remove this little locking screw, and that just allows the tool to sit nice and flatly against the regulator face. With that said, the last thing I'll mention is that if we look at the end of the tool here, we have a small screw installed into the end. If we take this out using a 3mm Allen key, we can use this screw to pull the regulator piston out the back of the regulator. So nice and easily like so, making sure not to lose any of the Belvilles or the small white sealing disc. But there we have it. When we're finished, we can install the screw back into the end of the tool, just for safekeeping. Very handy if you don't have an assortment of bolts on hand. With that said, installing the regulator back into the rifle is exactly the same procedure, just in reverse. I will be adding a small amount of silicone grease around these external O-rings, just so it goes in nice and smoothly. And then get that screwed in using our tool. And once it's done up tight enough by hand, we can come back through with our 16mm spanner and just get it nipped up. And as with the removal process, just keep a good amount of force forcing the tool against the face of the regulator, just so it doesn't slip. Then we can reinstall the barrel, and then get the rifle pressurized back up. There we have it. There's the regulator installed back into the rifle. The only thing that I will mention in regards to the tool is that the older regulators had a slightly different pin spacing. The pin spacing is about 1/4 of a millimeter different, but the tool will still fit in the older regulators. It will just need a little bit of force to get it in there. The holes may elongate very slightly, however these holes have no bearing on the way that the regulator works. These holes are just used for installing and removing the regulator from the front of the rifle. So the tool will work, it will just take a little bit of effort to get it in there for the first time. Then it should come in and out nice and freely every time after that. With that said guys, that's pretty much going to do it for this video. If you would like one of these tools, you can buy one through Bagnall & Kirkwood or very shortly my eBay store, but for now they're just available on Bagnall & Kirkwood's site. With that all said, I hope this video has been useful. Thank you very much for watching and we'll see you in the next one.